Welcome to Lightning Ministries Daily Devotional. My name is Pastor Timothy Kirk, and I want to welcome you here, taking the time to listen to what God has to say. Today we're talking about Steadfast Hope. Reading from 1 Samuel chapter 1, verses 1 through 18. Most of us know the story about Hannah and the fact that she was childless. And even though her husband had many wives that had children, these women would taunt her every time that they went to the temple where Eli was in regards to the fact that she was childless. Now, what you and I may see is something that was hopeless because we know in the story that she was brokenhearted about all of this. But she went before the Lord, cried in her heart wholeheartedly, and then confronted him to hear her request and show her favor through this whole process. Now, I realize that as believers, this can be more discouraging because we know that God can fulfill our hopes and fulfill or fix any situation that we're dealing with. But even if he hasn't, it's under great depression and recession. Say that recession in the sense that we have to reset, knowing that when we're poor in what we hope for, that we can be joyful in the outcome of the future that we haven't seen yet. Now, Hannah, more than I can say for myself, maybe even more, was a woman of great faith. Year after year, she would go to Shiloh to worship the Lord thy God. Now, what I found here is that she was persevering every time she came because that's what our Father in heaven qualifies us for in wanting us to desire him more than we desire what we want. But in this particular case, we found and saw disappointment from Hannah. But I understand one thing here too in my own life is that Hannah confessed that if the Lord would let her have a child, I think that was more for the taunting that she got than it was for her to just have a child, that she would give the child over to him and allow him to raise the boy, or the child, I should say. It didn't have to necessarily be a boy. And in that sacrifice, not only did she get what she wanted in this particular situation, but she also fulfilled what she had given God the promise of. She gave the child over to Eli to raise. And that's why we have this story in the Bible. But I realize that great pain often pushes us towards the Lord. I don't know anyone, I've never known anyone, I should say, that wasn't in some dire situation and wasn't speaking out to the Lord for them, to him, should I say, to help. But I realized that even in the fact that Hannah was weeping bitterly towards the Lord in this situation, and her soul was crushed by the fact that he had never allowed her to have a child. And I don't say this, I say this to a point. It's not important for women to desire to have a child. Some women don't want children. But the ones that do and can't have them, I'm sure that's a burden that not even I could bear, or even understand for that matter. But I realized that she laid her hope, her faith, at the feet and the promises that if it was fulfilled and that her desire for this child was given, she was going to give God this child to be his servant. Now, let me rephrase or reiterate here. Sometimes what we strive to hold on to can keep us totally surrendered from God. What do I mean by that? What we may want to learn here from Hannah's example of faith and what she poured out from her heart and soul to God was to let her release her hope, and that the only one that could fulfill it and give her the desires that she wanted was the Lord himself. And I guarantee you, he will. So what's the lesson today? whatever you're holding on to, whatever you're striving for, whatever you're trying to complete or get to or accomplish, give it to the Lord and let Him take you where He wants you to go and not where you're trying to get to. Now, let me say this again. I'm not saying that won't work, but you're never going to be fulfilled, and it's never going to complete or fill that gap in your home, I should say, your heart. And there is a hole there. If you can't fulfill it, that God will fulfill it for you. I encourage you today to let God do His will in your life and let go and surrender so that He can. Hey, thanks for listening. It's always a welcome for me to you to have you here. If you want to give, down there on the website, if you want to give, go to the website. You're more than welcome to give if you'd like. If you'd like to partner with us, give on a monthly basis, we'd encourage you to do that. And either way, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to hear more about, or what your thoughts are about what's going on in this world. My concern for that, if I have to touch on it, is that we should be more concerned about sharing the gospel with other people for the Great Commission and worried about what is actually happening in the world that may not be happening to us right now, affecting us directly. But with all that said, God bless you. Have a great day, and I look forward to you coming back.